Hey guys, it's Kathy. Yes, I started 2 minutes early because this is my stream and I can do what I want, and I hate waiting. And I missed you guys. It's been like 24 hours. That's so long. So, no one's going to understand this first part, maybe like three of you, but I'm going to tell you anyway because I want to. Um, I'll just give you a brief history just so that you understand why. There's used to be this YouTuber that played Minecraft and other things called Technoblade. Everybody loved Technoblade. Um, he passed away. It was very sad. It was outstandingly sad. He passed away. So no one could see Technoblade anymore. Well, if you've ever watched Technoblade, Tommy Innit, another YouTuber, his friend, found a bunch of clips that were never shared of him playing with Technoblade, playing Minecraft and things like that with Technoblade. So if you care, if you know who Technoblade is, if you miss him dearly like I do, Tommy Innit released one video so far on Technoblade's, well, I guess his dad, Technoblade's dad probably released it. Oops, I gotta turn Discord off. So you can see a tiny bit more Technoblade if you want to. All right, back to court. I'm going to start off by infuriating at least 100% of the women, and I'm guessing 80% of the men with this first clip. You're going to be infuriated. Like, I don't get it. I don't get how. First, I don't get how some people act like this. And I'm not saying men, both men and women both do this, period. I don't get how people act like this and then how people allow people to act like this to them. Like, I don't understand how you would be in a relationship with someone and allow this behavior. I don't understand. Because if you don't allow this behavior and nobody allows this behavior stops. So we're going to jump right in. Louisiana. We're going down to Louisiana. So, and it's a parole board hearing.
This morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Put up the revocation questionnaire. I'm going to show you a form on your screen. I'd like you to verify if that's your, if you recall signing that form.
What's the form? Mm-hmm.
Yes. Do you recognize, let's see if we can get the whole, yeah. Do you recognize that form, sir?
I do.
Is that your signature dated April 5th of this year at the bottom?
Yes, it is.
Mr. Small, based on your answers to the questions on that form, you're not eligible for appointed counsel. So are you ready to proceed with the revocation proceedings?
Yes, ma'am.
And before we get started, I want to recognize that your wife, Dolores Small, is here, wants to speak on your behalf, and we'll call on her at the appropriate time to do so. First, I'll read some information, read the allegations against you, ask you to enter a plea of guilty or not guilty. And then Mr. Prater will take the lead on asking you some questions and answering you about your plea. You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Small, you're accused of violating condition number 2 of your supervision conditions. And it reads, you failed to report as directed, bonded from supervision. How do you plead to violating condition number 2?
I'm going to plead not guilty to that because I never.
Okay, talk about it. You can explain it to Mr. Prater. Go ahead and finish our pleas first. Next is condition number 3, and it reads, changed your address without advising or obtaining permission from your parole officer and absconded from supervision. How do you plead to violate condition number 3?
Guilty, ma'am.
And then last is condition number 4, which says on March 26, 2024, you were arrested by the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office and charged with domestic abuse battery. Charges were refused May 3rd, 2024. So how do you plead to violating condition number 4?
And what am I pleading to on this case here, ma'am?
Condition number 4, it says, on March 26, 2024, you were arrested by Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office and charged with domestic abuse battery. Those charges were refused May 3rd, 2024. So how do you plead to violating condition number 4?
Not guilty.
Right? Would you answer Mr. Prater's questions, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, Mr. Small, how are you today? Can you hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's start with the first one where it claims that you didn't report like you were supposed to. How long have you been on parole?
I have been on parole since 2020 during the pandemic, and I was not told to report because of the pandemic. For some reason, we lost all communication.
Okay. Were you told when you were paroled that you couldn't leave the state?
Well, I never left the state, sir. I was here all the time.
Did you ever go to Texas?
No, I came from Texas when the warrant was put out for me. I never went to Texas. Once I got here in Louisiana on parole, I never went to Texas, sir.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
What warrant are you talking about? Which warrant?
What warrant? The parole warrant. I assume that's what you're speaking about.
Yes, sir. That's what I am. I'm speaking about that.
Uh-huh.
So they went to Texas to get you.
Okay, I was living in Texas at the time when I first started parole. I was living in Texas. I was married, living in Texas. My wife and I, we got a divorce in 2018. I left, me and my wife split up in Texas. I went to San Antonio, Texas, where I entered a program of Victory Gospel Outreach Center, where I was in the program during that time. I started working up there in San Antonio, Texas, and that's when I was picked up for a warrant out of Baton Rouge.
Thought you had not, because you were on parole and you had gone to Texas.
Right, I was already in Texas at the time when I was picked up the first initially time, like in 2018 or 19.
Okay. Let me get this. Let me just make sure I understand, because this is important to me,
Okay,
and I know it's
right.
important to you.
Yes, it's very important.
So you were placed on parole in Louisiana. Did you have permission to go to Texas to live?
Yes, sir, I did have permission to live in Texas.
Okay, there's where I was getting at. And did
Yes,
you
sir.
report in Texas like you were supposed to?
Yes, I did. And all the way to the time that I was picked up. I reported from 2013 when I got out of prison in 2013.
Okay, so if you had permission from the state of Louisiana to be living in Texas,
yes, sir.
Why did the state of Louisiana come over there and get you? What did they say?
Because I had a warrant. I had a warrant out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana for a parole violation, because I had stopped going to see the parole officer in Texas. Like I said, my wife and I, we divorced in 2000, my first wife, not the one that I'm married to now. But my first wife and I divorced in 2018 while living in Texas on parole. Okay, I was going to the parole officer all the way up until that time. So once me and my wife got divorced,
My eyes are blurry today
in
too, Lori.
2018, I left Orange, Texas, where I was on parole, seeing my parole officer regularly, working, seeing my parole officer. Once my wife and I got divorced, I went to San Antonio, Texas, not telling my parole officer that I had left. And went to San Antonio, Texas. There where I was picked up there. I was picked up in San Antonio, Texas at that time for a warrant from Baton Rouge for not seeing my parole officer at that time. So I've been here.
Yes, sir. That's what I was trying to get at this whole time. So work with me here. You were picked up for violating and not seeing your parole officer in Texas. You were picked up by the Louisiana authorities and brought back to Louisiana, correct?
No, I was picked up by an officer from San Antonio, Texas.
Right.
Where I went to Barrett County, and I stayed at Barrett County for a couple of months before being extradited back to the state of Louisiana, to Baton Rouge, where I went to Hunt, the correctional center.
Okay. So,
Michael Psycho, I would never play the hat case without you. You didn't miss it. We're being infuriated first. We want to be infuriated before we get to that one.
so you did abscond, you did leave. That you didn't do what you were supposed to do. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I did not do what I was supposed to do by telling my parole officer that I had got a divorce from my first wife.
All right. Let's fast forward to March of this year.
Right.
Tell me about that occurrence with your wife.
March the 26th. Got up usual, got ready for work, and went to work. Took my medication meds because I'm a mental. I had been diagnosed with a depression and mood swings. Took my medication that morning and went to work. About 6:30, March the 26th of 2024, I received a phone call from my wife stating that the Jefferson Parish Sheriff Office was at the house with 2 warrants for my arrest. So during that particular time there, sir, I turned myself in at that particular time there, March the 26th. I turned myself in.
Okay. And that is from an occurrence that happened in October of 22, right?
Okay. Yes,
now,
right.
Now tell me, now we're going back in time now. Tell me about the actual incident that caused them to come and arrest you in 24.
My wife and I, we had a misunderstanding, and during that time, 2 years ago, for like I said, we had a misunderstanding, sir, and my wife wanted to get out of the pickup truck that I was driving, and I wouldn't let her get out of the pickup truck. I kept hitting the lock button so she wouldn't get out of the pickup truck. So when I couldn't stop her no longer from getting out, she got out of the truck and got out on the side of the highway. So I left her on the side of the highway. I called my pastor up. I told my pastor that my wife had got out the truck. I left her on the side of the highway. He said, well, you got to go back and get your wife. So I went back to try to go and find her. She was already gone.
Say, did you ever strike her or wrestle with her?
No, sir, not at all. Like I said, I was just hitting the lock button on the pickup truck, keep her from getting out until I couldn't stop her.
Yes, that's exactly what he said, Carolyn. Did you ever wrestle with her? Did you ever wrestle with your wife? That's what he said.
Getting out any longer from the lock button. She got out the truck, all hysterical, and I just left on the side of the highway. I left. Not even knowing that she had called the police and everything like that. Her and I had lived together all the way up until March 26th, not even knowing that a warrant was out for my.
All right, in all fairness, to be perfectly honest, if I was in a fight with someone, my husband, my boyfriend, my significant other, we're driving down the highway and like we pull over for some reason and he gets out, yeah, I'd be gone. The American courtside. I would be gone. I wouldn't be wrestling. I wouldn't think twice about it. You would be walking. Just stay in the car.
We had been staying together the whole time, sir.
Okay, she had some damage to her face and to her chest area that was photographed, and her statement, and I feel certain you have talked to her about this, but her statement is pretty damning in the fact that it says exactly what you did in the course of that little skirmish you're talking about.
Right.
And she seemed like she was, the officer went to a great detail, or the deputy, and I think he did a great job of documenting everything. Well,
What a coincidence, Fozzie. She says the same words.
how do we get around that?
By telling the truth, sir. And I never punched her. I tried to stop her from getting out of the truck. I never hit her or anything. And how she got the damage on her chest where they were stating that her mouth was bust and she had damages. I tried to prevent her from getting out the truck. I never spiked her or anything
that
like
kitty
this.
Never comes over to me.
I love my wife. I love my wife.
Close.
So you did touch her, though. I mean, you did try to keep her in the truck, correct?
Yes, sir. That's it. I just tried to keep her in the truck.
So it was more than just hitting the lock button.
Okay. Yes. Right. I just tried to prevent her from getting out of the truck.
Smash it.
Tried to stop her from getting out of the truck. She was trying to get out of the truck. What you getting out of the truck for? Because we had a misunderstanding. You know, sir, I never hit her. I never laid a hand on my wife. Just like she said, how she got the marks on her face. I don't know. She was trying to get out the truck. She hit herself. I never spiked her.
He also says that she's been the victim of other domestic violence from you. Was she just making that up too?
Yes, sir. I never been she never been no victim of domestic violence from me, sir. I never been arrested on anything.
She rustled the door.
I never been arrested on anything, sir. You know, like I said, we've been living together all the way up into the day they picked me up. That the warrant was put out for my arrest. I turned myself in to face these charges. I don't have anything to hide. I would never beat her. I never hit her, sir. Never ever.
That's so you didn't strike her. You did wrestle with her some to try to keep her in the car. What were y'all arguing about?
About the pickup truck that we had purchased together. And we left the dealership at this particular time, and the guy had given us his business card. He given one to me and one to her. I told her that she didn't need the business card to give me the business card because he didn't want to. The guy said if we needed any more information or if we needed anything further to contact him. So that's why he gave us the business card. So I told my wife, I said, well, baby, it's over with. He don't want to, we came here to sign the truck, to put the truck in my name. He wouldn't do it. So he gave us a business card to contact him if we needed anything. So I told my wife, I said, well, babe, you don't need the business card. There's no reason why we should contact him anymore. It was like he was flirting with my wife. And, I got upset. I got a little upset. I said, well, you don't need the business card. Give me the business card. And that's what it was all about. Like I said, I never spiked her. Like I said, I'm a gentleman. I'm not I'm not a violent guy.
Okay, well, that's the purpose of these hearings, is to
Yes, sir.
determine what happened. So y'all were fussing over
A business
a
card.
business card
Yes,
that
sir.
you didn't think she should have.
Right. That's what it's all. That's
Okay. All right. That's
And we
all
was
I
together.
have.
Thank you.
That's all the questions I needed then.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Madam
You're welcome,
Chairwoman.
sir.
I see Ms. Stapleton has some questions.
Yes, sir, Mr. Small.
Yes, ma'am.
To continue on with what my colleague, Mr. Prater, was talking about, and you're talking about the business card. In her police report, she talks about that this all started out of you thought she was cheating and you were jealous. And you started hitting on her, and she, in her words, she attempted to defend herself with very limited results because you were in a fit of rage. And she tried to flee the vehicle, and that's when you were pulling her back in, and you continued to hit on her, and then you left her stranded on the side of the road. So tell me about that.
But like I was saying, like I was saying, I tried to forbid her from getting out of the car. It wasn't no fight. It wasn't no.
Was she trying to get out of the car though because you were hitting on her? Because she said she was trying to defend herself.
Hitting on her because she didn't want to get me the car. She didn't.
Well, why were you hitting on her about a doggone card?
I wasn't hitting on her. That's what I'm saying. I never striked her.
Okay. But you were insistent on getting the card back. You thought she was cheating on you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. 2 years ago. Yes, ma'am. But like I said, we lived together the whole time, ma'am. Not one time we ever had
she said that this is just like my colleague said, that this has not been the first time that you've done this, but she never pursued charges. That's not unusual for somebody that's a victim of domestic violence. They can be hit a lot of times and many different occasions, and they don't pursue charges. And to be a nonviolent person, you may not be a nonviolent person against somebody your size, but that's not unusual for a victim to be beat up on.
We never meant for any of this to happen, ma'am, and I'm very sorry that this happened. I love my wife. My wife loved me. We just want to move on with our life. Like I said, I'm not a violent person, a DA, and they throw the charges out that they had on me for, which was a misdemeanor charge as well. It wasn't a felony charge, ma'am. It was a misdemeanor charge, and I was dismissed. That charge was dismissed against me, ma'am, and we just want to get on with our life. We really do sorry that this happened, and we don't want to cause any. I don't want to, and I hate that y'all had to come down here to try to find out what's going on. I'm so sorry,
I'm gonna vomit.
This will never ever happen again, ma'am. Never happen again.
Well, it's a good thing that we were called down here for this, because sometimes these types of hearings may be preventative. Because what I like is your wife. I hope maybe she's going to talk later. I'm not sure, but I do see where she recanted and that she wanted you home. But I hope that she seeks out the local shelter and finds out what domestic violence is all about. And they have free counseling and free services for her. So I hope she gets that. And regardless of this hearing, I hope you do the same thing, because clearly the police officer, what he observed was that she was very upset and crying. And as Mr. Prater said, we do have the pictures, and she was scratched up and stuff. So I don't think she did that to herself. That's all I've got to say.
All right. Ms. Dolores, would you like to speak?
Yes, I would like to say something.
Right. Go ahead.
Okay. Dad, my husband never hit me. I can tell you he never hit me. And when he was pressing the button to get me out of the car, I was trying to get out the car. So when he got to Central, and when he got to Central and he wasn't pressing the button anymore, I jumped out the car. My husband did not hit me. Now, the only thing about abuse, I know about abuse. You know what I'm saying? I've been through abuse with my ex-husband, okay? Cornell is a very good man to me. He never hit me, never. And I don't understand why. The things is we do have problems. We have communication. Sometimes we fuss about things. He go take a walk and I'll be right here. You know what I'm saying? I could never go to a shelter. Now, when I was married to this other guy, I'd have been told y'all that he beat me big time. But Cornell never hit me. Now, the thing is, when them people came to my house that day, that really told me up. When my husband went, they brought him from work to jail. That really bothers me. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't do nothing because of those people in the front yard and in the backyard of my house. I could not rest. So they really did something to me. I couldn't even rest at all. These 3 months, I could not rest. Every time I turn around, I'm looking and see if those people come into my house with these guns. I never experienced that. I never saw that before in my life besides TV. So my husband is not a bad.
She's the victim because the police came to her house.
Bad man. He's not the person to be out here, out in that jailhouse. Those people that doing bad need to be in there. My husband is good. He is very good. And I'm not going to lie to him because let me tell you, I got 4 boys. My 4 boys is very, very particular about mine. And if anybody touch me, my 4 boys got my back. But my husband will never hit me. I don't know nothing about none of that other stuff. He never hit me. And I think when I got out the car, I probably hit my mouth on the door and I was shut the door. I'm trying to get out and I shut the door and that was it.
Let me just clarify something, Ms. Small. So the information or what you told the police was not true?
What I told the police, it's been a long time. I don't remember what I told the police. I told the police that he was trying to get the card. It was in my jean pocket. And so the only thing my husband was doing is like pulling me back so I won't jump out the car.
Let me tell you what it says. And okay. I'll share this with both of you. You, Jones, it says Jones dash Small. So I guess before you married, your name was Jones.
Yeah, my name is Jones, yeah.
So it says Jones Small advised that Small became enraged with her. He determined her vehicle was only in her name and not in his too.
Right.
You advised that Small also repeatedly accused her of cheating him, to which she denied. That as Jones Small advised that as the two argued, Small became more incensed and without any warning, then used an open hand strike to her face and lip area, along with both hitting and scratching her chest area, and further forcefully grabbed the collar of her shirt with his fingers and pulled her from the truck. And there's more. So all that's not true.
No, I didn't say it's not true, but I'm just saying I don't remember what I told the police officer. I know that when the police officer was talking to me, I wasn't really saying too much to him. He was just looking at me, writing things down. I never said anything to the police officer.
Okay. Well, thank you, ma'am. We appreciate your statement. Mr. Cornell, is there anything you'd like to say before we reach a decision?
I think I've said enough, ma'am.
Okay. Very good.
I appreciate everything. And I just want to say, like I was saying earlier, I'm not a violent guy. I love my wife. I never strike her, ma'am. We very much is in love. I just want to get on with my life, get back to work and get my life back in order. and I can continue on this parole that I'm on.
Yes, sir.
You know,
All
I've been
right,
on
ready
parole.
to vote. Mr. Prater will be voting first.
Okay, ma'am.
I vote to deny or to revoke on this particular situation because of the violence that's evident was displayed there. To me, it's evident. And then I think it's a typical story of after a certain time has passed that the wife / spouse has chosen to change her story. But it's evident from the police report, and it's evident from the fact of just what started this whole situation, a business card, and the fact that he's going to determine what kind of business card she can keep in her pocket. That's all I need to say. I vote to revoke the parole.
Mrs. Stapleton?
I agree with Mr. Prater for that same reasons. I believe that the officer had no reason to lie, or the deputy had no reason to lie. And also, he did a fantastic job on documentation because we did get the pictures. And so that is a thank you to them for doing such a good job on the police report, and also for probation and parole to make sure we get the pictures. So my vote is to deny.
He mad.
Revoke.
I'm sorry, revoke,
mad.
yes.
And Mr. Small, based on the information presented in the record, I do find you guilty of violating condition number 3 and number 4. So my vote today also is to revoke your parole. Today, sir, your parole is being revoked. That concludes our business in Jefferson. We're going to sign off at 9:32.
Thank you.
A business card. See, all the rest didn't really tick me off as much as him saying she can't have that business card. That's what that's what started me. That's what put me on a tangent. Mary, you should text me. I did it before. I moved out. He went to work. I packed up my kids and moved out one day. No help with family. I didn't need anybody's help. Yep, he came. It was the last time I ever saw that one guy. In 8 hours, like I packed up everything I owned in 8 hours and moved out. I planned like crazy to get there. Like for weeks I planned and planned and planned, and I did it. You should text me. I can talk to you. All right. Now we're going to go to the hat case. And I don't even know why I call this the hat case, Myco Psycho, because honestly, I was reading chat when we played this the first time, and I don't even remember a hat being involved at all. So I keep looking for this hat now in this video. Is there even a hat? Guys, are we looking for something that's not there? Lacey's here. Hey, big booty starfish. All right, I'm going to put this next video on and let my dog out because she's very important. Can't remember. I think we're at like minute 52, right? I should have
Bailey is
paid better
charged
attention.
with obstructing official. I think his answer was
Oh,
not
I
responsive.
think we are. I think I nailed it.
Testified to that. Okay.
Hold on, guys.
If I could have just a moment, Your Honor.
Yes. The significance of it is really nothing, though, because that's not related to these particular charges.
All right, I'm going to fast forward a little longer. I didn't nail it, guys. Yeah, I did. This is it, right?
Rudy Fox, if you can hear me at any time,
this
just
is
let me know. Again, later in the day, my voice might get quiet. If my question doesn't make sense, just let me know, okay? I don't want any guesses, right? Yes, sir. Thank you. You testified on direct examination.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. For those of you who don't know what's going on, 2 days ago, this is part 3. We started a trial, and I'm getting all my trials mixed up. So the police were called because a neighbor, they heard shots being fired, and a bullet went into their 4-year-old daughter's room. Shots being fired, a bullet goes into the 4-year-old daughter's room. The police arrive on the scene, and there's cornhole. So there's a whole bunch of people sitting out front by a fire, playing cornhole, drinking. And the defendant, the woman, comes up to the police and says, nobody's shooting any guns here. You know, nobody's shooting any guns. Well, while she's talking to the police officer, they start shooting again. And I think they said they shot like 25 times. So the police officer leaves the group in the front and runs towards the gunfire, announcing, police, stop firing, police, stop firing. So the one guy understands the police are there and puts his gun down to his side. But the other one, I guess, didn't understand what was going on or whatever. And I believe the other one was that lady who said no one's firing here was her husband. So he keeps firing his gun, so the police tase him. And then he stops shooting. So this gunfire was hitting houses in the neighborhood, and it was still going on while the police got there. So their adrenaline was up. So they try to round up everybody at this party and detain them so they could find out what's going on. And they do that, and they try cuffing everybody and placing him over there in the meanest way possible. Just so you know, we saw the video yesterday, the police video. They were swearing at the people. They were mean, yelling, you know, beep, 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 beep. Well, this one lady was recording. As soon as the police got there, she started recording and loudly was saying, I'm recording you and nobody shot at you and blah, blah, blah. So the police try to cuff her while she's recording, and, you know, she won't let it go over her phone, but when they try to put the cuffs on, her phone falls out of her hand, and we don't see that anymore. We will see body footage, body camera footage of something other than just her phone that we saw. So, but from what I understand, when they tried to put the cuffs on her, she was twisting and pulling away and didn't want to be cuffed. So, guys, did I miss anything? So this is the third video. So if you want to see it from the beginning, you got to go back 2 streams. I think I got everything. Just read chat. They will let me know what I forgot. All right. So now, oh, yeah. So they had opening statements, and then they have the police officer on stand that she was talking to. And the prosecutor asked questions yesterday. Now, today, we're going to have the public defender or her lawyer. I don't know if it's a public defender or she retained him. But just so it doesn't get confused, I'm just going to keep saying public defender because I can. I'm going to, because I just won't get confused that way. So she was definitely verging on First Amendment argument stuff. But yeah, yep. All right. So now her lawyer is going to start asking this officer some questions.
That you had never been to 5274 Zor Road before, is that correct?
For shots fired complaints, correct.
Had you been there for any other purpose?
I made a traffic stop in the driveway once.
So then you had encountered Thomas Bailey before, correct?
Yes.
He was the one that you pulled over for a traffic stop?
Yes.
Right. Had you met Sierra Bailey before?
No.
So on September 23rd, 2023, did she have any connection in your mind when you pulled up to the property itself?
No, I didn't know who anybody was on the property, no.
When you first pulled up, Thomas Bailey was not at the front of the house, correct?
Correct.
You talked about when you pulled in, there were a bunch of people in the driveway area, and they were sitting on like a retaining wall or concrete wall area, correct?
Yes.
They weren't all actually at the fire pit, which we saw was farther up the driveway, correct?
Correct. Some of them were sitting there, some were playing cornhole. They were all some of them were kind of spaced out all over the place, right? But in that general area.
Where did you first come into contact with Sierra Bailey?
In front of my patrol car in the area where they were playing cornhole in the driveway.
Near the front of the driveway?
Correct.
You didn't pull all the way into the driveway, correct?
No, sir.
So she would have been closest to the road, correct?
Correct, yes.
Farther from the hay stalls where eventually you go, correct?
Correct.
And during your traffic stop previously, I assume you didn't have any reason to go into the home, correct?
Correct.
So do you have any idea where Sarah Bailey's bedroom is in her home?
No idea.
At any point in this night, did you search the home?
No, sir.
So as you sit here today, you have no idea where her bedroom would be?
No, sir.
No idea its location as it compares to the stalls that we were talking about?
No, sir.
Did you ask her?
I did not.
Did you ask anyone else?
No.
What you knew when you approached Zora Road, that residence, was that shots had been reported to be fired, correct?
Correct.
But when you went to the Hannigan's residence, as you're driving over there, you didn't hear any shots, correct?
Correct.
You didn't hear any shots while you were at the Hannigan residence, correct?
Correct.
You didn't hear any shots traveling from the Hannigan residence over to the Bailey residence, correct?
Correct.
How long do you think you were at the Hannigan residence?
I'd say approximately 5 minutes.
Okay, so you believe that it was, I think you said you arrived at their residence about 5 minutes after the report of shots fired, correct?
Around 3 to 4 minutes, yeah.
So less than 5 minutes, correct?
Mhm.
Is that a yes? Sorry,
Yes, sir. I'm
she's
sorry.
just recording.
Yes, I'm sorry.
I know it's awkward. Do you know at what time the Hannigans believed the shots from
Sunset.
stray bullet came into their home?
I don't off the top of my head. I just know it was right after it had occurred. They called. This is my understanding.
Did they report more shots being fired?
Miss Hannigan did, yes.
Do you know what time she heard those?
It was prior to my arrival.
So this entire time that you are around the area, then go to the scene, you don't hear any gunfire, correct?
Correct. I wasn't. When the call came out, I wasn't initially in the area. So
But up until you're in the driveway at Zora Road, you don't hear any gunfire.
correct. From the time I was at Grants Frederick to the time I was at pulling into Zora Road, I did not hear any shots.
So based on that information, your own firsthand information, did you know that there were people shooting from your own senses on that property?
I'm sorry, can you kind of rephrase
Sure, that was
the question?
bad. Based on what you heard, did you hear any gunshots coming from that property?
No,
So prior to you hearing them when you're in the driveway, you had no firsthand sensory information that there were shots being fired, correct?
audibly, no, correct.
So prior
see
to
anyone shooting
hearing
a
the
gun, correct?
gunshots, you did not hear any gunshots. Is that correct?
You mentioned that you also wear a hat. Is part of your uniform a body camera?
We have cruiser cameras and we're body mics, but we don't carry body cams.
The hat is a camera. Don't tell
And
anybody.
the cruiser camera that we sometimes call like a dash cam, correct, for traffic stops?
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay. And so you're wearing a microphone. Does that then go connect to the camera in your cruiser?
It does through like
Connects
a
to my hat.
Bluetooth signal or Wi-Fi, something like that.
Your cruiser camera though turns on when you turn on your lights, your sirens, correct?
That is one of the activations, yes.
And it would go back about 30 seconds.
Typically a minute. Yeah, 30 seconds to a minute.
I got this. I
It's all
got this,
silent
guys.
for a while.
On
Yes.
his
And it kicks.
head.
That you didn't turn your sirens on this night, correct?
Correct.
So that functionality never
Nailed
took
it.
place, correct?
Correct.
Can you independently turn on your dash camera?
Yes, sir.
You did not.
I did not.
So you chose not to record what was going on in the driveway, correct?
No, sir. I showed up and I didn't hit my camera button, but in the midst of the conversation we were having, it can be activated by the microphone itself. I did hit the microphone button, but obviously it didn't activate the mic. We're in the transitioning stages from switching over to Axon cameras, and my camera had an issue for some reason. So it was prior to switching over to Axon.
So at what point did you hit that button?
When I was talking to them in the driveway, but it clearly never activated.
So you attempted to record it,
Yes, sir.
but there's no actual recording you're aware of.
There's none.
I want some.
At the time that you were talking to Mrs. Bailey in the driveway, she didn't have her phone out and wasn't recording you, correct?
No, sir.
You said that when you pulled up, you asked everyone if there was any shooting. How many people are we talking at that point?
I don't remember all the names, but like I said, there was roughly a dozen people there.
Okay. And so when you get out of your cruiser, are your first words, who is shooting?
More or less, I said, yes, I believe it was something along the lines of who's shooting over here.
And then you said that everybody responds nobody.
Yes, just as a group, everyone's like, no, nobody's shooting.
Okay. I mean, it's true that none of them were shooting, correct?
Correct.
Did you say who is shooting anywhere on the property?
Well, that's awkward. A professional would have cut that out. Unless everything's frozen. Come on, guys. My computer comes today. My computer comes in a couple hours. Nice face. Oh, it's there. It was their stream. Their stream went offline. Oh, wait. Go back.
And this was 9 months ago,
There we
right?
go.
Yes, sir.
There's been a lot of people between now and then, correct?
Yes.
Do you remember every conversation that you've had with those hundreds of people a week in great detail?
No, sir.
Fozzie, they don't understand. They're all going to
Are
say, yes,
you
I hear her.
certain
Yes,
of
I
the
hear her.
exact words that you used with Mrs. Bailey in that driveway?
I didn't put them in quotes, so no, but they were fairly close or relatively close to what was stated.
You would agree with me, though, if you're charging someone with purposefully or falsely lying to you, purposely trying to delay, the exact words used could be important, right?
That is the question.
And the exact words used in response
That's the
could be
question.
important, correct?
Yes.
And your summary in your written report is it verbatim, right?
Correct.
And if you did put quotes, well, that would be something that could indicate this is what I remember being said, correct?
If quotes were put in the report, then that was something specifically stated by myself or by whoever I'm interacting with. Yes.
And no direct quotes attributed to Mrs. Bailey on that night, correct? You said that when whatever it was that you asked, and she said nobody was shooting, you didn't believe her. Okay, I want to focus on that.
Yes, sir.
How long had you met her when she said that?
The time I had arrived on scene.
Less than a minute?
Yes.
So in less than a minute, you were able to determine someone was telling the truth or not because she said nobody's shooting. Is that your testimony?
I had a bullet into a house and I had multiple reports of shots fired from that area.
Okay. So did you ask her how long she had been there?
No.
Did you ask her if she had any hearing problems?
No.
Did you ask her what she was doing before you pulled into the driveway?
I didn't know.
Did you have any other independent information on where she was prior to when you asked that question?
No, sir.
Did you ask
So
her
when
the
you
name
said
of
I
her
had
first grade
a
teacher?
bullet that had gone into the Hannigans and reports of shots firing, did you have specific facts that Mrs. Bailey knew about that when she answered that question?
I'm sorry, can you say the question again?
I want to focus on the facts that you knew. Did you have facts? Can you tell us some facts that you knew or had that she knew that there was shooting going on?
No, I can't tell you when she came outside or when she showed up to the house or anything like that. I can tell you from the point when I got there.
And you didn't hear any shots when
Definitely
you
a
were there, right?
Pisces.
Initially, no.
Definitely.
And not when she was answering those questions, right?
Correct.
So you had, I guess, a hunch that she was lying to you, right?
I would say that, yes, I felt like she was lying based on the circumstances of everything going on, of her being
Lafayette.
what appeared to be
That's
intoxication.
Lafayette.
I would assume that she didn't just show up. I would hope she didn't just show up to the place
Lafayette.
intoxicated like that.
But I want to talk about
Lafayette.
facts.
Pikachu.
You have any facts
That's a
to
good
back up what you were just said, right?
Objection asked and answered.
Overrule.
Because no, can you rephrase that so I understand it better?
You told us that you didn't believe her, so I'm trying to understand why it is that you believe that. And you have said that you didn't have any other facts other than
Maybe
the
they're
reports that
Stetsons.
came from,
The evidence.
Do you ever
in
think
her-
about
No,
that?
the evidence of a bullet hole into a house and then the reports, yes.
but nothing tied directly to her, correct?
Correct.
We'll get to the obviously intoxicated in a moment. How close were you to Mrs. Bailey when this conversation was happening?
My cat's name is
I was
written on my
initially
hand.
within a couple feet of her, but
bad.
as she became irritated with me asking questions, she would continue to step towards me and, like I said, kind of get into what some people would refer to as their personal space.
She made contact with you though, correct?
No,
You were harmed in any way by
No,
Mrs.
sir.
Bailey at any point that night, correct?
not for
She, she didn't threaten to harm you, correct?
No, sir.
She didn't ask somebody else around there to harm you, correct?
No.
You said there was a lot of other people around. Did you get the names of everybody that was around that area when you first arrived?
Like my initial interaction with them, did I get their names? No.
At some point, did you get the names of everyone?
Yes.
Was every single person who was there that night that was there when you first arrived, and you said, as everyone says, no one's shooting, were they all put into custody?
The ones who had answered my question, yes.
You would agree with me that there was a female
Yes,
in the
but
back,
I provide the
blonde,
service
actually
to the cat.
closest to Dustin and Thomas, correct? Brianna Bennett,
Back where the shooting was happening?
correct?
Yes.
She was not arrested, correct?
No.
Hey, boo boo.
And she was actually back where they were shooting, correct?
She was in the area, yes.
You said that then you asked another time, is anybody shooting? In that period of time, again, no shots fired, correct?
Correct.
You still just didn't believe what Mrs. Bailey said, correct?
Correct.
Any new facts that were known to you at that point that would have changed what you knew at that point?
No, sir.
You asked a third time, same, nobody's shooting. You didn't believe her, correct?
And
Any
then,
new facts at that point?
no, but almost instantaneously after I asked that question is when I heard the shots.
When the shots ring out, Mrs. Nicholson was
So there were shots fired. The police came. The girl says, what, 3 times? No one's shooting at you. No one's shooting at you. No one's shooting at you. And shots ring out again. And this lawyer is grilling him about her knowing if there was shots fired or him not knowing because he didn't hear.
asking if she ducked for cover. I mean, did you duck for cover?
I ran towards him.
Because they were in the back of the property, correct? The gunfire wasn't going off near where everybody was at the front of the property.
Correct. No, it was not the back end of their property, but where the barn and all that stuff was.
The
yes.
stalls were, correct? Did you, when those shots went off, did you feel threatened at that time?
At that point, that's kind of when my adrenaline kicked in, and
Did you feel threatened? Was your safety threatened?
yeah, I would say yes. I have gunshots being fired, and someone's telling me that people aren't shooting there.
Mrs. Bailey was not
And
the
then
one
he
shooting.
ran towards
Correct.
the bullets, guys.
And you can agree with me that Sarah Bailey and Thomas Bailey are different people.
Yes, sir.
Dustin Bennett and Sarah Bailey are different people.
Yes.
You mentioned a couple of times now that you believe that Mrs. Bailey was clearly intoxicated. As part of your training, do you do traffic stops?
I do.
Does that include OVI or DUI?
Yes.
And so you are trained under NHTSA, correct, to observe the indicia
I did forget to mention that there are 3 charges against her: obstructing justice, getting in the way of investigation, whatever. 3 that are similar to obstructing justice. You guys can maybe figure out the other 2 in chat because I can't remember.
or signs of intoxication, correct?
Yes.
So you're aware of those, correct?
Yes.
You're trained what to look for, correct?
Yes.
And you understand that those could be relevant, and so you would put them in a report if you saw them, correct?
Yes, if it was for traffic enforcement or something like that, where someone is being charged with that, yes.
Well, you mentioned it here enough, it was important enough to mention today, I guess, right? That you believe she was intoxicated?
Yes.
Okay. So when you approached, she wasn't swaying, correct?
No.
She wasn't falling over, correct?
No.
She didn't have vomit on her, correct?
I don't believe so.
She didn't have glassy or bloodshot eyes, correct?
She had the strong odor of an alcoholic beverage and slurred speech.
Okay. But she didn't have bloodshot or glassy eyes, correct?
I didn't see her eyes. I didn't see her eyes well enough to say yes or no. I'm not gonna testify to anything on that.
Yeah. Well, you just said that she had a strong odor of alcoholic beverage coming from her. Is that correct?
Yes.
Was she standing next to Matthew Sherwood at that time?
Everyone was kind of just in a big group. Like I said, she kept
Was she
advancing her
standing
way
next
towards
to
me.
me?
So she
'Cause
was
that would
ultimately ended up
explain
being the
things.
closest person to me.
You would agree that if people spilled alcohol on them, that will emit an odor of alcohol, correct?
Correct.
Do you know if any alcohol was spilled on anyone?
I don't.
And you just said strong odor of alcoholic beverage. Is that different to you than the odor of alcoholic beverage?
Yes, because we've all been around people who have been drinking, so
That's
I
a
can
real
say
question he
you can
asked.
tell when someone's had one drink versus multiple drinks. The odor becomes stronger the more you have.
Okay. So if you believe that there was a strong odor of alcoholic beverage, you would have put that in your report, correct?
I did put that there was an odor of alcohol coming from her person, I
You
believe.
did put that there was an odor, but you didn't put that there was a strong odor, correct?
Correct. If that's not there, then I didn't put it.
Mhm.
And then you said earlier too, she was slurring her words, correct?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever heard Sarah Bailey speak before that night?
No.
Do you know what region of the country she's from?
I don't. Well, I do now. I know she's from Kentucky, but
Do you know if she has a natural drawl or twang to her speech?
I could tell that talking to her separate from what the slurring.
Okay, so when you say slurred words, what does that mean to you?
Kind of dragging your words out. Not more. No, I know that it can happen with a draw, but not with the draw. Like just kind of. I don't even know how to demonstrate a slur, but basically someone talking, kind of drawing words out, kind of like their tongue's a little tied.
Little heavy tongue.
Yeah.
Okay. You heard the video, correct? Mrs. Bailey is speaking in that video, correct?
Correct.
Did you identify slurring in that speech?
I didn't pay attention to her talking that much in that video to say that or yes or no.
You would agree that it was a very short period of time between you spoke to her in the front end of the driveway till that video is recorded, correct?
Yes, sir.
Not enough time to sober up if she's heavily intoxicated.
Shut up, it's fine.
So if you
It's all
believe that she
good.
was slurring her words, do you think it would be heard in that recording?
It could not.
Any other things that you're going on other than what you're saying was an odor of alcohol and slurred words that stuck out to you as being intoxicated?
Yes, he took a blood test right there while there was fire. While there was
When you
Fired.
ran
Shots being
towards the
fired.
stalls, she didn't try to tackle you, correct?
Yes, sir.
And try to trip you?
No.
She didn't stand in your way so you couldn't get by and run towards the stalls.
Did she touch your
She
hat?
didn't take any affirmative
Did she take your
action
hat?
to try to prevent
you wear
from
your
running
hat?
towards the stalls, correct?
Correct.
She didn't tell anybody else to take an action to delay you or impede you, correct?
Yes, sir.
And she didn't threaten to do those things,
Yes,
correct?
sir.
You said that she was more or less getting in the way of the officers. Is that correct? You said that on direct examination.
Yeah, at the end she was, yes.
And are you talking about the video that we saw?
Correct.
You would agree that she was actually standing over by the barn or garage area, correct?
Yes.
You were allowed to go back and forth from her husband, get Mr. Sherwood, go back. You went back and forth multiple times, correct? In that
Yes.
video alone.
There was some time prior to that she was back there as well.
Well, the video starts when you're up near her husband and trying to handcuff him, correct?
Her video, yes.
Okay. And so that video doesn't have holes in it between when you are dealing with her husband and then you put her in custody, correct? I mean, there wasn't any missing time.
That's correct.
And so when you went up to deal with Thomas and Dustin, she didn't run in front of you, correct?
Correct.
She didn't in any way stop you from dealing with them, correct?
She was a distraction because of an officer safety issue, I would say. I just had run into people shooting that I was told were not shooting. And now I have these people coming up behind us that I don't know what their intention is because we were told nobody was shooting back there.
Okay. So she's on her own property, correct?
Correct.
She's yards. I mean, in that recording, you said earlier it was about 50 yards from the driveway to the stalls, right?
Yes.
I mean, she's many yards away from what is actually happening up at the stalls, correct?
When she's back there, you're saying?
In that video, I mean, she's a significant distance. From you, correct?
I would venture to say several feet. I wouldn't say yards.
Mike psycho. We don't wear hats in court. We don't wear shorts in court. This is a courtroom.
Okay, and she's not touching you, correct?
No, but she obstructed the investigation, which is ultimately why she was placed into custody.
Are you saying it was because of what she said in the driveway or what was happening in the back area?
Because of what happened in the driveway.
Okay. And so that is the reason you placed her in custody, because of what happened in the driveway, correct?
Yes.
That's the reason you were trying to put her under arrest for obstruction.
Yes.
And so, I mean, we saw other sheriffs too walking by her in that video, correct? And she didn't try to stop them, right?
Okay. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Do you disagree?
No.
Didn't hear you saying you're on.
So I accidentally tried to put a comment up and and this computer said no. Don't worry, my computer comes today. We just have to make it through this one last stream together. Come on, baby, you can do it. I gotta take this comment down. Then I'll start the video again. Here we go. We're good. Everything's fine. We're fine.
When you were placing the cuffs on her, was that supposed to be your signal to her she was under arrest?
And did she have a safe word?
Yes.
I'm just was that your intention?
Yes.
Is that the moment that you're saying she was supposed to be under arrest?
She's being taken into custody at that point.
You would agree with me that to arrest someone, the default is to get a warrant, correct?
Depends on the crime.
You would agree with me that if you go get a warrant from a judge, you can arrest someone, correct?
Yes.
You had no warrant that night to arrest Sarah Bailey, correct?
It was a warrantless arrest.
So you can also have a warrantless arrest, correct?
Yes.
But that is based on probable cause, correct?
Yes.
And probable cause, kind of fancy lawyer speak for just facts that you believe rise to a probability a crime occurred, correct?
Yes.
And you believe you had probable cause of obstruction at that point, correct?
Yes.
Even though you didn't know where she was prior to you showing up, correct?
Rephrase that again. I'm sorry.
You believed you had probable cause to arrest even though you didn't know where she was prior to you showing up, correct?
The intention was not to place her under arrest upon my initial arrival. Is that kind of what you're asking?
When you arrived and engaged in that conversation with her,
Okay. Yes.
you didn't have any other facts that we already discussed, right? I'm not going to rehash that, but you agreed, right? There was no other facts than what we already talked about, correct?
Correct.
And you just told us that it was that interaction that led to the lawful arrest, correct?
Correct. Because I had the shots fired after I was told there were no shots being fired.
You were asked by Mrs. Nicholson if Mrs. Bailey ever brought up that people came and went from the party. You remember that conversation?
Yes.
Did you ask her if people had been coming and going?
No. I did not.
Rewinding.
Do you believe that she
and
was supposed to just
replaying
really tell you
is
that information?
outside of my computer skill set right now.
Did you ever interview Sierra Bailey related to this case?
I did not.
Are you aware of any interview that was conducted?
I don't know, because after my interaction with her with being taken into custody, I had no further interaction with her that evening.
Okay, but as far as you're aware, there's no other interview that exists.
I don't believe so.
You didn't instruct anyone to ask her questions about where she had been and what she knew prior to her arrival, correct?
No, I was kind of separated from the scene after that point due to the incident which had occurred.
And is
To
that
kind of-
because you used a taser and?
No, it was just because of adrenaline being high. I went and interviewed the
He was looking for his hat.
residents in Grants Frederick.
Any other involvement that you would have had in this case aside from what you just described?
No, sir.
On direct examination, you said that you told Matt Sherwood to sit down after you put him in cuffs, and you kind of described what was happening. Remember that? Remember that testimony?
Yes.
Okay. But what you didn't say on direct but we saw in the video, right, was that you actually challenged him to flee, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that normal procedure?
That is not.
He did do that.
Kind of discussed.
I
I'm a
dare
human
you
being.
to flee.
I
dare you to run.
Just kind of one of those things that came out when your adrenaline's high. I mean, I said it, but I don't. Did I mean it? No.
As a human being, you don't have a perfect memory, correct?
Correct.
And as a human being, you don't know what someone else is thinking, correct?
Not all the time.
No further questions.
Women do.
Correct.
Briefly. When you're at the Hannigan residence on Grants Frederick, aside from the other houses on Grants Frederick, is there any other property right over here?
No, it's all fields past that point.
So this is the only other residence
Yes, ma'am.
east of the Grants Frederick home.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Schuett was talking to you about, you have hundreds of interactions with people on a weekly basis, and you've had hundreds of interactions since this event. And so you don't have a perfect memory. You
Yes.
recall that?
Yes, ma'am.
Was this like any other call you'd ever been on?
No.
Would you say you have a better recollection of this incident as opposed to some other incidents that you responded to in that time frame?
Yes and no.
Okay, explain that.
Just the adrenaline dump. Like when you have a dump
I'm
like
just
that,
happy she's not wearing orange,
it
Rebecca.
can kind of make some of your memory go astray.
Or worse,
But
orange shoes.
I feel that for the most part, I recollect a significant amount of this incident. Just small details like I don't remember saying any, if I said anything to her when I came up to cuff her, stuff like that. But the big key points of the event are remembered very well.
And Mr. Bailey was talking about Mr. Schuett was talking about her signs of intoxication that you believed you witnessed. And you were talking about slurring words. When you encounter someone who you believe is slurring their words, do they slur every word they say?
No.
What is usually the case? How do you observe slurring of words?
It's every several words typically.
So if you watched the video and didn't hear her slurring her words in the video, does that change your opinion of whether she was slurring her words when you first spoke with her?
No, ma'am.
Aside from Miss Bailey and Mr. Sherwood, did anyone else follow you back?
Not that I recollect.
Was anyone else screaming in your direction?
No, ma'am.
I have no further questions.
Recross. All right, thank you. You can step back.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We'll take a break, ladies.
All right. I think he's done, so another officer is coming up tomorrow. But we're getting closer, guys. Getting closer to find out. I should for Myco Psycho. Hold on. For Myco Psycho, we're going to show the hat. It's further forward, isn't it? Yes. Here comes the hat and a lot of swearing by the officer.
Give me your fucking hands. I dare you to, I dare you to take off running.
There it is, there it is. See it? And the shadow of the hat.
Nobody pointed a weapon at anybody, just for future reference.
There we go. We got bad words, and we got a hat, and we got a shadow of a hat. So what more could we ask for? And we got 1 day and 22 hours. So tomorrow when I stream, it's going to be less than. But that's just until I can press the button. Who knows how long it'll take. I heard it only takes a couple days, but really it's probably going to take me a couple months. You'll see. So I was off work today. I mean, I was off work for this on Thursday, if you remember. I never showed up for work. So I have some Thursday Fleischer coming. Not a whole lot, but I got my Thursday Fleischer coming. Things we missed from the week. Come on, baby. You can do it.
You ready?
Yeah.
Sure, I've got Austin Navaro.
Page 22, Navaro, come on up.
Do you mind bringing him up? That's him. All right. You, Austin Navaro.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Navaro, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. It's elevated to a Class A because of the high blow. So that means you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir. Please don't say anything. Okay.
On June 20th, 2024 at 2:11 a.m., officers observed a car stuck on train tracks trying to reverse. Officers had all occupants exit the vehicle, and the driver had bloodshot red eyes, slurred speech, he was swaying, and an odor of alcohol.
Right?
Driver stated he had 2 beers, and officer conducted field sobriety tests. HGN was 6 of 6. The walk and turn was 5 of 8. And the one leg stand was 3 of 4. DIC was read and breath was consented to. The results were a 0.196 and a 0.211.
Do you mind running his criminal history, see what other things he has, if anything?
There's none, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Does she have access to be able to do that?
Yeah, so we screened it with the criminal history.
Got it. Okay. All right, Mr. Navaro, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have valid liability insurance in your name?
Sure, Your Honor.
Then you're not allowed to drive until you're 100% sure.
Yes,
No, you don't know. So to me, usually I don't know means no. Until you actually are able to verify that you see an actual policy with your name on it and the car that you're driving, you're not allowed to drive. Do you understand?
yes, Your Honor.
If you drove here, you may not drive home until you actually verify that you have liability insurance on whatever.
Child custody case? The bad boy? Like the little 12-year-old that's in jail? Which child custody case? I can't remember. Do I have another trial? I'm going to need a lot more words, Fozzie, because I don't know which one. Okay, there's more words, but it didn't help. The dad's name is Jesse. I do not have anything right now, but I'm going to go look at my street from yesterday and see what it is, and see if I can find more. Absolutely.
Car that you're driving.
Yes,
I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you have a drug or alcohol problem and you continue to use, I will put you in jail. Do you understand? You will not get any more PR bonds from us.
yes, Your Honor.
You have a great lawyer. Listen to Mr. Ruiz. He will take care of you. If Joseph tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, you're not responding to phone calls or text messages, I will also issue a warrant for your arrest.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do not pick up any new cases. No dope, alcohol, and stay in contact with Joseph. Do you have any questions? All right, so for now, Joseph, he's not allowed to drive until we verify it. If you're able to do it now and you can show us that he has insurance, then we'll allow him to drive. Other than that, we're gonna have him sign an affidavit not to drive for the moment. So just you guys stand down and let me know if you, until that point, I'm gonna have you sign an affidavit promising us you're not to drive until you get approval with us and show us that you have insurance. Do you understand? One more question. How old are you, sir? What do you do in life?
Retail.
Did you graduate from high school?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, where are you at now? College, no college?
Not as of right now, Your Honor.
You're just working retail?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, we'll step outside and see
That's
about
okay.
the insurance.
I'll have this ready for, well, for now, let me have him sign a reset. Eventually, he'll get with Tracy for his bond conditions, but he's not allowed to leave until he signs this or you show me that he has insurance.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
Joseph. Thanks.
Oh, the one in
Page 9,
Fleischer's
Spanish speaker.
court. I thought it was a whole nother
Alonso
courtroom. That's why I couldn't
Gonzalez.
remember. I don't know. Well, maybe. I don't know. I don't think so.
Buenos días, ¿qué tal? Me llamo Luis, mucho gusto. My attorney hasn't arrived yet.
Okay.
El juez, como sea, quiere hablar contigo. Hágase aquí en el centro, acérquese. Solo mira el juez, no me mira a mí. Y me contesta nada más en español, por favor.
Luis, what was your name again?
¿Cuál es su nombre, señora?
Rosario Donoso.
Rosario Donoso. Mira el juez y contesta en español en voz alta.
Donoso Gonzalez.
Gonzalez? Sí, señor.
I just want to stop and point out that to describe that case, Fozzie said the mom with a sad face. Darkest was like, you know, the girl with the red hair. Oh, okay, and the jumpsuit. I remember her. Now I get it. Fozzie said the mom with a sad face, which is every single court case. I do. I asked him for more words and he delivered. He did. Hi, James. I don't know if she shows up. So what? She was arrested on Wednesday, or she was taken down on Wednesday, right? And then we saw her again on Friday. So this is Thursday, but I didn't get all, I don't know how many hours this was. I didn't get all the hours. So maybe and maybe not. And she might not even have been there at all on Thursday. Who knows? Oh, see, now that makes a lot more sense. Ooh, because guys, I have all these trials that I have to go through a lot of trials to get little clips for this stream. And I have some saved that don't have verdicts yet. I'm not going to put them up if they don't have verdicts. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So I'm like trying to go through all these trials that I have saved on my computers. And I was struggling. I was trying to get there.
Señor, no, señor, en español. Sí,
Ma'am,
señor, no, señor.
sí,
Yes,
señor.
sir.
You were charged with prostitution. You were facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. This case is 1,011 days old.
Vejez.
Who is your lawyer, ma'am?
¿Quién es su abogado, señor?
Ay,
Solo miro.
no, ahora mismo no recuerdo el nombre porque tenía uno asignado y me lo cambiaron.
Right now, I don't remember the name of it because I had one that was assigned to me and it was changed.
Pertenece al grupo de abogados González.
It belongs to the group of attorneys called Gonzalez.
Okay, take a seat for me at the jury box, ma'am. You're not allowed to leave. We will wait for them to get here.
Puede ir hasta que llegue su. Agarra su bolsa y siéntese ahí, por favor.
Okay.
Next one is a Spanish speaker, page 9. Figueroa, Jose.
Buen día. Pase, por favor. Pongan sus papelitos aquí en la mesa. ¿Qué tal? Me llamo Luis, el intérprete. Mucho gusto. Párese aquí, señor. Solo mire el juez, acérquese a la baranda. Solo mire el juez y le conteste nada más en español.
Okay. Jose Figueroa.
Sí, señor. Yes, sir.
Mr. Figueroa, you were charged with terroristic threat. You were facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
On June 19, 2024, officers were dispatched to a business and spoke with the complaining witness, the manager. She advised that defendant, an employee, made indirect threats to another employee, saying, if you see him, I'm going to put 3 bullets in his head. Witness said that he was walking in the parking lot when defendant was near the back of his Dodge with the trunk open and said, I've got something for you, and brandishing a pistol.
So he had a gun?
Sí, sí, señor.
Okay.
Era una pistola de postas.
The complaining witness,
De aire.
the complaining witness was in fear of his
El
life.
cliente tenía temor por
That
su
again?
vida.
The complaining witness was in fear of his life.
El cliente temía por su vida.
Where, so this was at a place of business. Where was this?
Target.
Broad range logistics.
Say it again?
Broad range logistics.
Mr. Figueroa, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Tell me, are you a United States citizen?
No.
Are you in this country with or without permission?
Sin permiso, pero estoy sacando.
Without permission, but I'm in the process of obtaining.
You're still here without permission.
Permiso.
What happens if you go to jail?
Gracias, señor.
No importa.
Be deported.
That's right.
Es correcto.
But you will sit in custody waiting for that to happen. And if you think that immigration does anything on an expedited or fast basis, you are wrong. You will sit in custody waiting until immigration is done with you, which is about 6 to 9 months. If you do not want that to happen, you must follow the conditions I put on your bond now. If you don't, I will revoke your bond and put you in jail. You got out now because we gave you a free bond. You will not get another one. Do you understand?
¿Entendió, señor?
Yeah.
I'm
Sí, señor o no,
Sí,
señor?
señor.
Yes, sir.
ordering as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case, not to be in possession of any weapons, and not to go back to this business.
Señor. Yes, sir.
I've never been inside of a Piggly Wiggly before. Maybe I should try. It's just so far south. I would have to drive for a while.
You were mentioning that he was also driving and had a car as well, right?
He went to his car.
You don't have a Texas driver license, do you?
¿Es cierto que no?
No.
No.
Then you are not allowed to drive. Do you understand?
¿Entendió, señor?
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you, I don't think there's anything that makes me more upset than when people drive without a license. And if you do, there's no faster way to ensure yourself a lengthy jail sentence. Don't drive at all. That is also a condition of your bond as well, sir.
You?
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
So do you mind writing that up as far as bond conditions? No weapons, no contact, no going back, and no driving, please. We are going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. First, I'm going to have you go to Victoria. We will have you sign a reset. After that, I'm going to have you take your seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions ready. This is the only warning that you're going to get from me. Consider this a friendly warning, Mr. Figueroa. You are now on our radar. If you go to jail, you may be there for an extremely long time. Behave yourself while you're out there in the free world.
I
Because
am
if
not driving to
I'm going
Piggly
to take the
Wiggly.
free world away
Look
from
at that car ride.
Sí,
Nope.
señor.
Yes, sir.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
Por favor, pasa a su izquierda.
No, just,
Okay, just once, just, no, it's just gonna be. Okay.
just go ahead and we'll get them out.
The next one is page 5, Burrows, come on up.
No more Spanish?
Take the kids with me. Now I'm never going. No. 5 hours in the car with my kids.
Good morning, Mr. Burrows.
Yes, sir.
So you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and a $2,000 fine or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you.
Order in the court, please.
I see that you have a lawyer.
Yes, Your Honor.
We don't know when he's going to get here, so we're going to go ahead and do this now, probable cause.
Yes, Your Honor.
If he has any issues, he can come back and talk to us when he gets here. Though. Okay?
Sir.
All right.
On June 20th, 2024, at 3 a.m., officers observed a vehicle operating in motion without headlights or taillights in a parking lot. It went approximately 100 feet on North Houston Street in Webster before turning on the headlights. A traffic stop was conducted and the defendant was ID'd by his Texas driver's license. The defendant stated he was coming from Whataburger and was working as a DJ at Rowdy's Bar. Officers observed a strong odor of alcohol on the breath. He was fumbling with his phone, looked confused, unable to provide proof of insurance from the phone, and he was struggling to walk properly. The standard field sobriety test was an HGN of 4 of 6, walk and turn 5 of 8, and 1 leg stand 1 out of 4. DIC was read, and a blood warrant was obtained and blood was drawn.
Okay. Mr. Burrows, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Can you run him to see if he has any prior DWIs, please?
Prior DWIs, it was 2 prior thefts in
Right.
2007 and 2008.
Got it. Okay. Do you have a Texas driver license, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you mind running his license as well, Ms. Garza? Please. Do you have valid liability insurance in your name?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol, I will revoke your bond to put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds.
Yes, Your Honor.
Stand, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
You have a lawyer. Good job on having a lawyer. Because you do, I will waive your appearance so you don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with Mr. Russo. He will tell you if and when you have to come back to court. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you, I will issue a warrant for your arrest, so stay in touch with him.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you, sir.
For now, I'll have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. You'll then get with Tracy for your bond conditions, and after that, we'll just have you take your seat in the back while we wait for Mr. Russo.
Yes, Your Honor.
His license just eligible driver.
Great. Okay, thanks. Please.
Thank you, sir.
Page 16, Carrie. Come on up. That's JH.
Yeah, okay, thanks. Good morning, Miss Carrie. Ma'am, you're charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Defendant and co-defendant concealed items on their person and walked past all points of sale without purchasing items. The total amount stolen was $638.38.
Shh. Where from?
Target.
Okay, and who's the co-defendant, if you don't mind? You have a cause number by chance?
I don't have a cause number on the codependent. Let me see if the codependent was arrested.
Let me see, maybe it's on the information.
found a name. 28.
Okay, what is it?
The name.
Yeah.
It is Navea, last name Aplgala.
IAL?
IEL.
Abdel Galio. Does that sound right? Hey, Logan, can you find the co-defendant in this case? Do you mind, please? The last name is Carrie, Khery. Let me see if I can find it. Joseph, did you see it?
Theft.
Okay, all right, then we won't do it. I trust you. You're an officer of the court, right? So, okay, we won't do the no driving affidavit, okay? Then sure thing. Okay. I couldn't find that name.
And do you have a driver's license number of the co-defendant?
I don't have the way to search that though. Perhaps you guys do.
Way to search it and try to pull it up.
Miss Carrie, I'm going to find that there's probable cause
Prostitution
to go
under
forward
the
with the case. I'm now
influence, guys.
prohibiting you from going to any Target whatsoever. Do you understand, ma'am? If I find that you go to Target, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. How old are you, ma'am?
I am 23.
What do you do with your life now? You're a cashier. Where?
Exxon gas station.
Okay. Did you graduate from high school, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any children?
Yes, sir.
How many children do you have?
Just one.
Do you get support for that child?
I'm sorry.
Do you get support for the child?
Support? Like.
Child support. So,
no.
are you married?
Support? What's that? Never
Okay.
heard of it.
Did you want to apply for an appointed lawyer, ma'am? Okay. The co-defendant in this case, who is this person to you?
The person I was with, a friend.
Okay, I'm ordering you not to have any contact with this person.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
If you do have contact, likewise, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. I'm going to give you a lawyer now so that you can talk to the lawyer. If you have any issues, you can speak with the lawyer. The only thing I'm asking you to do is behave yourself while you're out there in the free world. Do not pick up any new cases. Don't go to any Target and don't have any contact with this person.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions? Okay. I'm going to have you go to Victoria's, sign a reset. After that, I'll have you take your seat in the jury box. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions, but we'll have you speak to the lawyer here momentarily. Please. So you guys mind filing all those conditions? No Target, no contact with co-defendant, and no, there's no new cases.
Okay, Judge, page 21, Morehead, come on up. Page 21.
Morning, Your Honor.
Hi, Nathan.
Always a pleasure.
This
Happy
guy's
Wednesday.
prostitution,
Right,
I
Wednesday,
bet.
Thursday.
Thursday.
So happy
Today's
Thursday. Happy
The
Thursday.
luau's tonight for the criminal defense bar at Dan Electro's.
Are you going?
I am.
Well, then I'm not going. Then.
Well,
I'm I'm just kidding.
I would have looked forward to sharing a drink with you.
For the life of the party.
Thank
So
you.
perhaps, I don't know if I can break away from my, anyways. You are Hubert Morehead.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Morehead, you're charged with driving while intoxicated, second offense. You're also
I was wrong
enhanced
again.
with the high blow. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On June 19, 2024, officers were dispatched to a crash call. A witness stated that he watched the defendant crash into a pole and then continued to drive away from the crash scene. The vehicle eventually was stopped and he observed the defendant exit the vehicle. Officer met with the defendant next to the car, still holding the keys and damage to the front of the car. Defendant said that he was heading to Grower from Galveston,
Porter, it's just misspelled.
Porter from Galveston, and said he had vodka. There was slurred speech, a strong odor of alcohol in the breath, unsteady balance, and standard field sobriety test was conducted with a HPN of 6 of 6, 7 of 8 on the
Walk and turn.
walk and turn. Thank you, Yar.
It's okay.
And he refused the one leg stand. PIC was red, and the BAC was a 0.185 and 0.185.
So he took a breath test. Then.
Yes, Judge, voluntary breath.
Okay. You
All right, here's a question, guys. Here's a question. So when we see Judge Fleischer's outfits, everybody says, he should be in this suit or this suit. He should be holding this. He should have a cane, hat, blah, 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 blah. So you've all like pictured him in other suits. Even if you're just reading what someone else said, you're picturing it. Have you ever pictured him in, all right, I know this is weird, in a black judge's robe?
run him to see how many DWIs he has.
He has one prior DWI in 2015 in Williamson County.
My understanding is the only time he's been arrested is his prior DWI.
Just the one, right? Nothing else? Okay. All right, Mr. Morehead, do you have a Texas driver license, sir?
Yes, sir.
Do you have valid liability insurance in your name?
Yes, sir.
I am now putting a restriction on your license, sir. You're not allowed to drive any vehicle that's not equipped with an ignition interlock. If you're caught driving a vehicle that doesn't have an interlock, you will go to jail. I will revoke your bond. You will not get any more PR bonds. I'm also ordering you now as a condition not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. When I mean no alcohol, I mean no alcohol from any source. No tequila, lollipops, hair dye, NyQuil, cakes, candies, foods, gums. I've heard everything. Understand, no alcohol from any source.
Beer.
You understand? If you are caught drinking, then I will revoke your bond. I will put you in jail. As much as it's going to pay me to do that against Mr. Meunier, I'm still going to do it. So no alcohol from any source. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
The only issue we have with the condition of bond, Judge, is the interlock. His vehicle was damaged on night of, and it's going to be repaired. How long did you say it was going to take?
About a month.
And you're not, then if you want, I can give you a portable device for now, but you're not allowed to drive them.
So he has a motorcycle.
He can't, no.
Okay.
No. Unless you can put a blow and go on that motorcycle, no driving.
I don't have a motorcycle.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I have a bicycle.
Well, a bicycle's fine, right?
Sorry, I received an email and when I read the word, I assumed that meant motorcycle.
You can ride a bike. I'm not going to put the interlock on a bike, but still be careful because no consumption of alcohol means no alcohol. You get on a bike drunk, it's not going to go well for you. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Right. Regardless, as it is now, I'm going to have you sign a promise with me that you're not going to drive at all. If I find that you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. I'm telling you, I mean business when I say no driving.
When you get the vehicle back, we come back, promise away.
Correct. When you get your car back from being fixed, or in the interim, if you have a second car, you can put the interlock on the second car and drive that one. But you are not allowed to drive anything that doesn't have an interlock on it.
I'll explain to you.
Okay.
Are you going to be driving until you get your car fixed?
What is it?
I drove my car here, Your Honor.
Aha. Require the device being.
So let's do this. Do you want to continue to drive that car?
No, sir. Well,
it's going to be turned.
Certainly not for a month, for at least a month. I don't plan on driving at all for at least a month, to include that car, after I get home.
The usual instructions, Judge, would say to have it installed within 7 days. We can keep that, and then he can have a portable for the next month or so until the car should be fixed.
Okay.
And it sounds like he won't be driving his car past the next day or two.
No. Drive the car home. No more driving after that. Do you understand?
That's fine. Yes, sir.
Sorry, that was more complicated than I thought about.
Are we paying for the portable? James?
What do you do for a living, sir?
Retired.
From?
U.S. Army and Exxon.
Okay. He can afford it, right? Yeah.
I will proffer to the court that I am retained.
Mr. Morehead, the only thing I'm going to ask from you is don't consume any alcohol. You know, all we want are streets to be safe. That's all we want. If you put the streets in danger, that's it.
Not for the rest of my life, Your Honor.
For now, I'm going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. After that, we will get you to Victoria. We will have you sign a reset. You then will get with face for your bond conditions. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance so you don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with Nathan. He will tell you if and when you have to come back to court.
Okay.
If Nathan tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. So no alcohol, no dope, no driving for now. You get your portable device in a week and then stay in contact with Nathan. When you do eventually get a car, come back here and then we can switch it out for you and then you can drive.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
On Jose Barrios Reyes.
Reyes.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Last name.
Page 2 or 4, I think.
Yeah, page 4 here.
thanks. Oof. Okay,
He just set up the trial, Judge.
okay. The case is so old that it's gonna be a quick setting.
Understood.
Um,
I think the state is going to have some complaining with witness issues.
Yeah,
Might as well
no,
just.
if you want to set it, we'll set it, really. Ramona,
Yes, Judge.
are you in back?
I think
Yes,
a
Judge.
Georgia court just went live
So we need a trial setting.
at 6 o'clock in the
On-
morning, guys.
Do you have a docket with you or no?
I need to see this.
No, but you can tell me. I'll be able to look it up.
So when's our good
Bossy, I'm
next trial
ordering
date?
coffee. I
July,
need coffee.
what?
Well, the 30th, but that's pretty soon.
Bossy,
So it would be
texting me.
August 13th.
Wait. The case is it's 730 days old, Ramona. I don't want to do too far.
Well,
You said-
Judge, you got to give them time to send out subpoenas.
Right, so what, today's the 27th,
Can you see
7:30?
that?
Yeah, you're right. No, I guess that would put us in August. That's nuts.
I got a
man.
courtroom in Georgia that
August
just went
already?
live
I know.
at 6 o'clock
Crazy.
in the morning.
Okay, August 6th.
Crazy.
Can we do the 13th? Or is it okay if we do the Monday in
Sure.
August, the first Monday?
Are you okay with the 5th?
Fine. Yes, sir.
I was on my phone and I missed Ramona. Hi, Ramona. Look at her working hard while we're just sitting here doing nothing. Snacking on bonbons, sipping champagne.
Okay,
Okay.
do the 5th.
Okay.
You okay with that? Okay.
Understood.
Right. So, okay,
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks, Judge.
thank you.
So do I need to see the video?
No, Ramona will put it on.
Slide down, Mr. Lisi, right here.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Lisi.
Morning, Your Honor.
So here's the deal. Your case with us is 652 days old. It's very, very old. We usually set cases for trial when they reach about 180 days. So what we're going to do now is your felony case is set for 7/25. With our case here, we're going to set you for the 2nd of July. Between now and then, counsel will get all the evidence. We'll review it with you. And at that point, when we come back here, you need to either be prepared to accept an offer from the state. If you don't want to, we will go ahead and set your case for trial. Do you understand? Okay, so between now and then, you guys get together. If you have any issues, if you have the evidence and you want me to bring him sooner so you guys can review it here instead of at the jail, I'm happy to do that too, Mr. Burrows. So whatever date you want. For now, I guess tentatively we'll set it for the 2nd. If you want something else, just let me know. But understand, the next time we come back, it's clear trial. Okay? All right, guys. All right, thanks. So, Shatoria, she was placed on probation in February. You had 2 things to do while you're on probation. 2.
Sorry, Judge, but you have to wait for a second. Melissa's back. Melissa's going back to work today. We're going to get to see that head right there. See this head right here? Just so you know, Melissa, you never sit that far back. So you don't have to worry about us looking at the side of your head all day. That's not how it goes. He's way back. Your head sort of only goes to like there. So you have to lean back for us to see you. He's sort of leaning back, but we see him anyway. Victoria, Melissa's coming in. Melissa's coming in. Ramona's not here, is she? Because we just watched Ramona for a while. Yay, Melissa's coming back. Melissa, we missed you. I mean, I know you were in chat, and I know that you were in Discord, and I know that we could have spoken to you at any time of the day or night that we wanted to, but it's not the same. You weren't in court 5. Yes, and just so you know, Melissa, just for you, Victoria saved an extra stack of papers for you to go through. You have work to do. And that way, today when you get to work, you get to stay late to finish everything. Victoria, you're so nice to her. And she ate all the jelly beans so you wouldn't get distracted. No jelly beans for you.
We are now 4 months later. What have you done, Ms. McGrath?
I paid for all my classes and everything to start from in March. I had my first probation officer was Ebony Turner. She never put me in my class. She said in March she was going to enroll me. Like when I first got on probation, I went to her the week after, and she said that she was going to have to schedule me, and I didn't see her for a month. I didn't see her till April, and she said she's never got me into a class. We went further, and she said I should have one like available seat in May. She still never put me in. And then by the time I went to her again, she changed me to a different probation officer. And he was like, he don't even know what's going on and why I have to do my class. And the person she sent me to do my community service, they're not even in like service anymore. I went up to the airport, and I also called him. And he said he will put me to the food bank or something for my community service.
So how do we get her into thinking for a change then? How do we get the classes started?
I can send like an expedited email to make sure she gets enrolled today. That's the best I can do.
Let's try that and see what's going on with these people. If they can't get their act together, I mean. And then what about the community service?
I don't see anything about the community service.
Let's do this.
I can make a referral to for community service myself and give it to her today.
Okay, let's do that. And then I'm happy to do it wherever you want to do it. And then let's revisit in 2 weeks and see where we're at to make sure that she actually started.
Okay.
All right, ma'am. Just go ahead, take a seat here momentarily, and we'll get with you now to get you started. Okay. Mr. Noonan, good morning.
Approaching on Jessica Smith, your docket.
Okay.
This is one, I guess, like an issue with pretrial and potential bond violation issue, but I think it's been all squared away. After speaking with the pretrial officer this morning, it was mainly like a checking in without a PIN number ordeal.
Grilled cheese with pineapple and mayonnaise.
Come up, ma'am. Tracy.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna send Miss Smith right now. Miss Smith, I'm sending you for a drug and alcohol test right now. You were ordered to do one before, you didn't do it, so they send me a report that you've now violated the condition of your bond. I'm sending you for a drug test now. And I'm gonna tell you, if this happens again, it's not gonna go well for you. Do you understand? If they call you again and you fail to appear, I will revoke your bond and put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds from me. Go ahead, take a seat for me.
Your Honor, I mean, just for efficiency purposes, I believe she did take a test yesterday.
Yesterday.
And so I don't know if they have the results back yet.
Jessica Smith.
That's the most fake name I've ever heard in my entire life. Jessica Smith.
Ms. Smith, just go ahead, take a seat. We'll be back with you momentarily. Come up, sir. Did you get the scram device on your ankle?
Sure.
Okay. Are you, who's able to verify? Is it with you? Great. and
Melissa
then-
could if she was at work.
Wonderful. Okay, so where are we at now
She
with
wasn't
the,
there.
yeah,
I did call over there this morning. He told me that he enrolled in the class on May 22nd, but he's not the counselor, so he can't give me a certificate, and the counselor was out today. But he has been enrolled, he has been attending, and it's still above and beyond.
Today my last class.
say that again?
Today is my last class. Today.
And then if I'm not mistaken, he also has to do IOP after, right? So are you enrolled for the IOP now?
But you can't enroll in IOP until you finish SOP.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's set it off 2 weeks. I want to make sure you finish this. And then by the time you come back, you must also be enrolled in the IOP as well. Okay? All right, so Darla, we'll set it off for 2 weeks. So we make sure that he finishes the SOP. And then he must be, by the time he comes back in 2 weeks, he also must be enrolled in the IOP as well. Once you enroll in the IOP, bring a schedule so we know what it is, and then we'll baby step you until you get finished with that. And then at that point, it gets dismissed.
I
right?
would believe that before Jessica Smith.
3 days out the week. So whichever.
I would like to know when it stops.
Okay.
Like when you're done with it. I know that you have to do it 3 times a week, but I want to know when the end date. of
I
that
wonder
is,
what
so we know when
helper
to
means,
schedule. What I
Victoria.
want to do is I want to do the beginning. We do a midway check-in to make sure that you're going and that you're doing what you're supposed to
I
do.
hope it's a
And
kitty
then
cat or a
assuming
puppy.
at the midway check-in, you're doing great, we will set you off until the end date. And that's the way we'll do it. Okay? All right. So Shatoria, if you want to give him a 2 week, whatever day, I don't care. You pick the day for the next 2 weeks that you want to come in, and then we'll see you then. And good luck. Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks, Darla.
No problem.
Yeah.
Yes. Hi, hello. You said Medina?
I don't know why he doesn't have a towel around his neck.
All right. It's an indecent assault, correct?
And we, the state's moved off and so forth, we'd like a short reset so we can, go over all that and probably see the work at it.
What offer did you get?
Darkest to our
One
great
is
son.
2 days in jail and the other one was a 13-month deferred.
Okay, is he here? Do you mind bringing him up?
Sure. Is there?
Good morning, Mr. Medina.
Morning, Your Honor.
Sir, your lawyer and the state have worked out a two-part agreement for you where they're giving you two different offers. One of those is a time-served offer where it's, how many days are you?
3 days.
It would be 3 days in jail with that, with whatever credit you may have. The other offer is a 13-month deferred, which is a type of probation that if you successfully complete, you do not end up with a conviction on your record. I don't want you to make a decision now. We will set your case off for a couple weeks. You two go over the evidence, and at that point, when you come back, you need to make a decision on what you want to do.
Yes, sir.
If you do not want to take either, at that point, we will set your case for trial. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
So give you some time and good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Googling crepe. Shush you. You've eaten a crepe before. Okay, everybody who's here for the videos, it's over. Thank you for coming out. Now I'm going to talk. Oh, Darkest, thank you so much. My computer comes back today. I wish I had like a tracking thing on it. I don't. I don't have a way to track exactly where it is. Next time I ship my computer out, I'm going to put something in there so I can track it myself to see how far it is. And then I can track it down with my car and go get it halfway. Oh, you're in Tennessee? I'll be right there. Coming to get my computer and a little bit of whiskey. So my poor son has been having an issue with internet, right? And remember, he's a professional gamer, so he can't do that. So today he had brought his computer upstairs to, hardwire it with Ethernet instead of wireless. And he's been beside me this whole time, mod reviewing. So he's been talking to his people this whole time. And I've been trying to only unmute when he's quiet. It's not working though, because I can hear him in my ear, even though he's talking so quiet. You guys probably don't hear him, or if you do, it's not a big deal. But I can hear him so loud in my ear. Oh, me too, Darkest. Me too. I can sort of. Okay, so they say it's going to be here. When I go to the tracking, it says it'll be delivered between, I think, 2:30 and 6:30 today. So, and guys, oh man, I got something big planned. I got something big planned that I need my computer for. I can't wait to get my computer back and get started. It's big. It's going to be big. It's going to take me a while though. I'm going to try to get it done for Legal's birthday in 1 month, which is almost impossible, but I can do impossible. Don't worry. I can do impossible. So I need my computer for that. I have time. It's perfect timing. Perfect timing because I have off. They're closing the restaurant the 3rd and the 4th, which sucks. I'm losing 2 shifts this week. That sucks. But I have off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I don't have to go to work till Friday. So I have me and my beautiful, beautiful computer and 4 days of nothing. So I'm so excited. Guys, I'm so excited about what's going to happen. But before she goes to work, Melissa, I hope you have a good day at work. It's so hard after a vacation to go back to work. It's just so hard. But don't worry, you'll forget that it's fun outside of work in a couple days. Victoria, I don't know, hold up a picture of a Georgia peach every once in a while to make her feel like she's still on vacation. He's trying so hard to be quiet beside me. Okay, Fozzie. I'm calling you Fozzie. You guys ganging up on me. You know what, Donald? I might just sleep all week. It's very, very possible that I'm just gonna sleep all week. I can't. I'm just so excited about what I want to do. Victoria, tell the judge we said hello. I'm gonna try to make it to his stream today and not sleep through it. Is that horrible? I'm gonna try to not sleep through the judge's stream. I'm gonna be there and chat. I'm gonna ask him questions, not about specific cases though. I'm not stupid. Guys, is Roma's yummy in Texas? I hope he says knowledge today. That's all I'm gonna. I'm gonna watch his stream and wait for him to say knowledge. That's what made me think about it. Oh, everybody says it's delicious. No, we have Caruso's here. Um, the Caruso family lives local, have 3 pizza shops, and their pizzas are so good, but because they're so good, they like jack up the prices on them, which they deserve. 100% deserve because their pizzas are so good. And I don't think I've had a Caruso's pizza in a while. The problem is I get off work after the pizza shop closes. So I don't order Caruso's. But man, just a plain cheese pizza from Caruso's in Lancaster. If you're ever in Lancaster, just get a pizza from Caruso's. There's 3 of them you can choose from. Put pizza on it. Okay. Yeah, drink a lot of coffee. A lot of coffee sounds good. I ordered coffee while I was on the stream. That's why Fozzie yelled at me. Because I didn't see it the first time, I think. She knows. Yep. Get a Caruso's. Delivered to Fozzie to Texas. I don't even know how I could do that. He's talking about Overwatch if you can't hear him. All right, guys, I'm getting on Discord. So if you want to talk, you don't have to. You do not have to go into Discord. But if you ever want to, I'm in there. Wait, do you think Melissa needs coffee? I don't think so. She would tell us if she needed coffee. So she's fine. Yeah, he's talking a little louder now. It's awesome because he's excited. Have a great day, Vibers. And in a couple hours, we'll be Flifers. Flifers? Yeah, Flifers. Everybody meet me in Judge's stream again. All right. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you later. I'm going to be in Discord. I'll see you in Discord. Bye.